All right, check it out. We made a plan. We made a plan for those of you that want bigger arms. In 90 days, follow this plan, and a lot of you, a good percentage of you, if you follow what we say, will gain an inch of muscle on those biceps and triceps. You want big arms? Pay attention. We're going to give you the blueprint.
Let's go.
Yeah, I like this one, of course. Who doesn't like building big arms, there is a way to do this. You just have to be consistent. I know a lot of people, especially guys, want to get their arms to grow. And so they're consistent with a few steps, but they don't include the others. And then they find it very, very difficult. Of course, at some point you'll hit a limit, but I think the limit for most guys when it comes to building arms is they're not putting the pieces together properly.
Yeah. Well, you got 6 on here, and I remember like the light bulb going off for each of these individually.
That's right.
So never did I figure this all out one time. So where this will be nice is for the person trying to pursue this and maybe hasn't taken advantage of 2 or 3 or more of these tips, because if you stack all of them, like you're going to put some good size on your arms. Because I remember like just tweaking one of these going like, oh shit.
Made a difference. Yeah, so the first one, and this is a rough number, but bodybuilders have observed this for a while. I first heard of this stat probably in my late teens. And, since then I've tracked my body and all that stuff. And it's pretty consistent. I've seen it with clients as well. And so to gain about an inch on your arms, you probably have to gain about 10 pounds on your body. About 10 pounds of lean body mass tends to translate. For some people, a little more, a little less, depending on your genetics. But where am I going with this? You have to eat more.
Yeah.
Like, trying to build anything, whether it's a girl trying to build her butt or a dude trying to build his arms or whatever, without eating more food it's essentially impossible. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. If you don't feed your body the building blocks that it requires to build that extra tissue, or if you just don't feed it enough to let your body feel like it's okay to build muscle, because that's part of it too, right? Building more muscle means your body's going to have higher requirements for energy. And if you're not taking in enough energy to give your body that confidence, then it's just not going to happen. And so for most people, this looks like about 500 to 700 more calories a day than what you're currently eating. Yeah. About 500 to 700 calories a day. By the way, this includes a high protein diet. So about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or target body weight. Now, the reason why I said 500 to 700, some guys need a little more, some people a little less. So this is just a range. An easy way to do this for most people. Now, if you do this, if you want to really get good at this, what you do is you track your food for a couple weeks, get the exact number, and then add 500 to 700 calories to that. That's like the pro way to do it. If you want to do it kind of the lazy way or the less accurate way, you know what you generally eat throughout the day. So what you're going to do is just add a 500 calorie or 700 calorie meal. This is what I would do when I was a kid.
Yeah. So if you're not somebody who can, this is where I do see benefits of things like shakes is like, okay, if you weren't consistently doing that, you add that into the mix, which is, by the way, why I think a lot of people think that shakes are more valuable than they really are. Is I think there's a lot of people that when they're not training, they're not focused, they're not taking the shakes. As soon as they get back to it, they start taking the shake, and then they attribute the gains or the results to the shake when it's really
they're consistent with everything else.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing all the other things. You're just adding the shake, and what it really is you now added 300 to 500 calories to your diet and some more protein. That's where the gains come from. So it's an easy way for someone who's not doing that.
Yeah, I like that. Like you could take and create yourself, let's say, a 600 calorie shake, and now the key is to not allow it to replace food. Yeah. So this will be a mistake, right?
It'd be in addition to.
Yeah. So let's say you're like, oh, cool. And first thing in the morning, I'm going to have a 600 calorie shake. And then what ends up happening is you eat less of a breakfast or no breakfast at all. You've just replaced one for the other. What this should look like, or should I say, this is a more consistent strategy, is you eat like you normally do. And at the end of the day, you throw the shake in. Yeah. So it's at the end of the day, you've eaten like you normally do. And then you're like, okay, I got this shake now. I'm going to choke down because sometimes that's what it feels like. Yeah. That's going to add those extra calories.
Make a good peanut butter Nutella one. That's how I did it.
Dude, that was my love language.
That was my jam, was whole milk back when I could have it. Whole milk, protein powder, a little bit of peanut butter.
Peanut butter, Nutella, and banana inside a shake like that. Ooh. Yeah. And if you really struggle with calories, you could throw a half a scoop of dry oats in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to do that. Yeah. So if I was really pushing the calories and having a hard time getting
what I would do is throw some ice cream in there.
You're in the bathroom.
Wow.
That's a lot of dairy for me. That's a lot of dairy for me.
I wonder why I can't have dairy anymore. I think it caused this problem. Yeah. Anyway, next up, let's talk about the workout. okay, so obviously you're going to focus more on your arms in your workout. Maybe not so obvious, but anytime you're trying to prioritize a muscle or an area, you're going to bump up the training volume for that area. But you have to also simultaneously take volume away from other areas, okay? So you can't just do your normal workout and then add on top of it, because what's probably going to happen—
excessive.
It's probably going to be excessive, because most people who are consistent, and I'm assuming the people watching this who are like, yes, I want to gain an inch of arms in 90 days, you're probably already working out. You're probably already close to what your limit is for your total volume. This is just what tends to happen when people are consistent with their strength training. They tend to train, and over time, they add a little volume, then they kind of find what they think is their sweet spot, but really what it is what they can tolerate.
Yeah.
So when they throw volume on top of that, now they've tipped over. Not only do they gain no additional muscle, but they also start to lose gains in some of the other lifts. So here's what your workout's gonna look like. You are gonna hit your arms 3 days a week. So biceps and triceps, you will hit 3 days a week. For the rest of the body, you're only doing the major lifts. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're doing bench press, overhead press, deadlifts, maybe a row, and that's it. You're not doing laterals, you're not doing flies, you're not doing a bunch of different back. It's like you're just doing the major lifts, and then the rest of the workout for the next 3 days, you're doing like 6 to 9 sets for biceps and triceps. Now, a good example, recently Justin did a series with his overhead press. I remember you experienced this in your series where you came in, you're like, I just had to just overhead press.
Because I was just adding that on top of like a normal workout. Yeah, we're doing way too much. I mean, it's so funny how and you feel it once the body reacts to something like very specific to that, and you isolate it. It's like you finally gave it the opportunity to really get stronger and build.
Yeah. I remember you coming in and talking about that. You're like, yeah, I just did way less and my strength went through the roof.
It worked.
I think part of this hack too is actually just including the frequency of 3 times a week too. Because one thing because I used to do body part splits.
Yeah, so biceps on one day.
Yeah, so arms are only getting hit once or twice a week, but I used to hammer the shit out of them like 1 or 2 days out of the week. Mm-hmm. And then come back around. And so I was doing a lot of volume in a single workout. Just me spreading it out over 3 days made a big difference.
Yeah, so for most people, this is going to look like probably 6 to 9 sets for biceps and triceps, 3 days a week. You're doing the major lifts, then you're going to go to arms. Here's what the workout's going to look like over those 3 days, though. I like to break it up this way because I think it offers a lot of variety. One of the days is all free weights. One of the days is all machines. And then one of the days is supersets. So short rest period, superset type of workout. This will help modify the intensity and the load throughout the week so you can hit with that much frequency and not overdo it. And this, by the way, this routine right here is obviously very arm-centric. Combine it with the extra calories, and without doing anything else we're going to talk about, which we'll get to, you're going to see good results just from those two right there.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, try to get a little pump every day. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get a pair of bands, and a couple times a day, you're just going to get a little pump in the biceps and triceps. It's not a workout.
Key to this is modify intensity. The idea of think of it more
just
like
pump blood in there.
I go into it. I'm trying to pump blood in there for recovery reasons. Don't think like training. Like if you go into it like you're trying to train and get sore or feel a burn, it's like no, I just want to pump blood in there because I'm trying to facilitate recovery. That's how you have to think going into that.
And it's a couple times a day. So what this looks like is in the AM. You might do a few sets of curls, get a little pump. You might do a few sets of tricep press down with the bands. That's it. And you're doing this almost every single day, 2 times a day. These are called trigger sessions, and they really do facilitate recovery, and they do turbocharge results so long as the intensity.
It so well, yeah.
That's right. It has to be low intensity though. If you push the intensity on this, it's not going to work.
If you at least do this once a day, you'll see results even from it. Ideally, you 2 or 3 times. And the best I was ever with this was I had to put the bands, our little ones that we have, the door jam ones, in my living room.
Just sat there.
Yeah, because it had to be somewhere where I'd see it all the time. So I just thought, I need to go do it real quick. So that's probably part of the strategy too, is that, set up your bands somewhere where you pass by frequently or carry with you, maybe at work, so that you have the opportunity to do this a few times.
Totally. Next up, sleep like a baby. Like go to bed early. Give yourself a 9-hour block is what you're looking for. So I know they say sleep 8 hours. Well, you got to give yourself time to fall asleep and give yourself a little bit of leeway in case you wake up in the middle of the night. Sleep like a baby. Sleep isn't necessarily magic. It's lack of sleep that is terrible, dark magic. Like if you have bad sleep, you eat extra calories, it becomes body fat.
Yeah.
If you have poor sleep, you add extra volume, it becomes an injury.
Yeah.
Poor sleep is a killer. And I know I'm picturing the avatar of the person that I'm talking to right now, who's like really interested in gaining an inch on their arms in 90 days. And what I see is a dude, a young dude, and they have the worst sleep. They have the worst sleep habits. They tend to be the absolute.
They're going to sleep when they're dead.
Yeah. So that was me for so long.
Yeah. We all said that.
And when I figured this out, it was like, oh, it was crazy.
Teenagers stay up all night now. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I've been stressing this, and it makes a difference too. Like I see this within my own kids as they're developing. It's like when they get good sleep, it's like, oh wow, look at this.
You know what? Such a good point. And maybe sleep like a baby is too much to even ask. Maybe just as a teenager or the young man who's probably thinking of this, just cut your phone time off by 6 p.m.
Oh, turn it off.
Just that alone.
You'll be bored and go to sleep.
Yeah,
electronic.
That alone will probably make a difference.
Here's what. By the way, if you're watching this right now and you're like, oh, well, dude, I sleep in all because I see that teenagers will do this as well, and sometimes people in their 20s will do this. Is they'll sleep in till like noon on Saturday. And like, well, I got plenty of sleep. No. What you're doing is you're
catch up.
What you're doing is, first of all, if you can't catch up that way, it helps a little bit, but it only really helps with mental sharpness and memory recall. It really doesn't help with the recover part that much. The second thing that it does that isn't good is it completely destroys your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
So you go to bed super late, you're like, cool, I'll sleep until noon tomorrow. Good job. You just gave yourself jet lag for when you are going to wake up early, which is terrible for any of these games. So it has to be really consistent every single night. You can't miss a night. Sleep like a baby. Today's program giveaway is Maps Aesthetic. If you want to win, leave a comment below this video in the first 24 hours that we drop it. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. And if you win, we'll let you know in the comments section. Here comes the show. And then finally, use, and I haven't heard people talk about this for a while, which is weird because it's so crazy, use blood flow restricted training once a week. So in one of your workouts, at the end of the workout, you're going to throw in a set of BFR for your biceps and triceps. So people aren't familiar with this. You take like a knee wrap and you tie it around the top of your arm, tight enough to where you can feel the blood be restricted. Not so tight that where it's numb, but tight enough to where you feel like you're restricting some. Yeah, we've got some videos.
Yeah.
And then go do some really light high rep sets for biceps and triceps. Leave them on. The burn will be worse than any burn you've ever felt in your entire life. And this is a really turbocharger.
Are you going to recommend this on a off arm day?
No, do it on the arm day. Yeah, do it on the arm workout.
So on one of the arm workouts.
Yeah, just at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, one set for biceps and triceps, and this works really well. Everybody, this by itself, if you're doing everything right, will add a good almost quarter.
I mean,
inch.
all of these will. That's what I mean. I remember going through the training and piecing each one of these individually together. So I've never once like stacked this intentionally all at once and had done this. Like I think this if you're listening and you don't do 2 or 3 of these, you do all of them and watch what happens. Yeah.
I got to tell you guys, man, I had this experience over the weekend with just it's just how remarkable our ability is to process food. It's such a science. It's so wild. So I had, and I don't want to say the name because they don't pay me, but also because it's not a product I'll use all the time. But I bought a ready-to-drink protein shake. So you know the ones that come ready to go?
Yeah. Okay.
And the protein that was in it is beef. So it's not egg, it's not dairy, it's beef.
Yeah.
Okay. The flavor on the shake is something like cupcake, vanilla cupcake sprinkle or something like that. Okay?
Did you taste any beef in that?
Hold on a second. It tasted like a cupcake with sprinkles on it.
That's weird.
Identical. Because I'm like, beef. Like, let's see how good. Like,
yeah.
Bro, I drank it and I'm like,
mask beef.
Because the engineering that goes into protein shakes, like we talk about processed foods.
That's crazy.
Some of these protein shakes are the most processed foods I could possibly imagine. How do you get beef?
I don't know.
To taste like a cupcake with sprinkles
I told you
on
I had Jason over for the weekend, and he's like, I can't nail the Ninja Creamy down. And I'm like, well, tell me what you're doing. And he's using bone broth protein. I'm like, no, bro, not for ice cream. I'm like, that's like you gotta do whey or egg.
Yeah.
And so how do they get a beef protein shake to taste like cupcake?
I don't know. I mean, I looked at the ingredients. Of course, there's a ton of ingredients in there.
Now, but
the engineering's wild. How do you do that? I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know how much I trust it. How about that?
Well, I tell you what, you're right. It's a good point. But I will say this, that it does make me respect. You brought up the Paleo Valley bone broth protein. it's so minimally processed and it tastes good.
Yeah.
And if you look at the ingredients, there's like 3 or 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
That's it. It is minimally processed. There's no artificial anything in there. I think bone broth, collagen lends itself well because it's such a neutral flavor.
It just blends into most things.
Yeah, unlike beef, which always
beef
has a beefy flavor.
Exactly.
There is no neutrality to it.
You know it's beef. Like it leaves its remnants.
So I mean, Paleo Valley did a great job with that, but it's very minimally. So it made me more just appreciative of, of something like that. It's not a chemical bomb. You know what I mean?
And just by itself, that's the way to do it. I mean, I wouldn't mix it with anything.
It's even good in water.
Yeah, I do either water or almond milk and shake it up, and that's good the way it is. That's
dude.
Yeah,
totally. Anyway, you guys saw. I told you guys about the Bible study at my house over the weekend.
Bro, you sent a picture.
How many kids? I didn't count the picture. There's like 20 kids there.
Yeah, there's over 20 kids.
Over 20.
Yeah, so this is wild, right? This is such a crazy. So my daughter goes to Hume Lake. So little context. I didn't raise my older kids as Christians. I wasn't a Christian until recently. So I become a Christian about a year and a half ago, maybe a little more. And, I have teenage kids. And the last thing you want to do, anybody with teenagers will know this. The last thing you want to do if you want your teenagers to move in a direction is to push them in that direction.
Right.
Because their tendency,
especially considering they weren't raised in that, and then right. So it's like even more so.
Oh, even more so, and their tendency is to push back. Like it's a part, it's
rebellious sort of nature,
and that's part. It's supposed to. They're supposed to be right. They're disconnecting from their parents or whatever. So I didn't force any of this, and didn't push it. Whatever. Little by little, my daughter started, showing some interest. Anyway, long story short, she went to Hume Lake, did the Christian camp there.
I knew that would be a big deal.
I love Hume Lake.
Came back just totally on fire. And when she came back, she was like, hey, my friends and I are going to do a Bible study. I would like to attend it. So she's been going to these Bible studies. Now, I didn't know. I assumed that these were Bible studies that were led by a pastor or like a youth group leader.
Yeah.
No. These kids themselves, by the way, they all go to different schools.
Now, so you said this to me, and I was curious because ours were like self-led. When I was a kid and I ran one, but they were organized by the church.
Nobody organized it.
Yeah, so they used to call them cell groups, and you'd have, you ate here, you ate there, and so they put it together, and then that's how I had my group of 8 guys or whatever. Yeah. So it wasn't organized.
No.
They just did it themselves.
They did it themselves.
Wow. That many kids is wild to me.
It's growing.
Organized on their own.
So I didn't know that. So then my daughter just shocks me, and I tried not to show too much excitement again, because you just want your kid to, you want them to know it's their idea. She's like, hey, can I host a Bible study? And remember, my daughter wasn't a Christian a month ago.
Yeah.
And she wants to host one. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Let's have it. I didn't know there were going to be that many kids. These kids come in, they're all great kids. There was like 20 something kids that showed up. And I saw there was no pastor leading it. There was no youth group leader. So I started inquiring, and they're saying there's like a high school revival that's happening. These kids did it themselves because they said they wanted to keep the momentum from Hume. They decided.
Yeah.
And they're all different schools. Like all kinds.
Oh, they're not even the same school.
No.
That's even crazy.
Bro, I'm meeting these kids. I'm like, oh, you go to school? And they're like, no, I go to this school. I go to that school. There are probably 5 different high schools in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And listen, they were singing worship songs. A couple of them brought guitars. They were reading from the book of Romans. They were like praying. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's wild.
Absolutely. It's been such a crazy impact.
I hate to admit when you're right sometimes, but that was one that you called. Just I didn't feel it yet. I don't think I also don't have teenage kids, so I didn't see it. But you've been saying it for a while that you feel like there's this total revival that's happening in young people right now. They're thirsty for it.
I think so, man.
I think they're
feeling the pain.
The irony. I've seen that. You've seen that meme before, like the rebellion now is like a family, and it's like the opposite is rebelling now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they've gone so far one direction that having structure, morals, discipline is now the rebellious thing to do.
Well, these kids were left. They're growing up in a world where they have access to anything. Mm-hmm. They have access to anything. They have entertainment 24/7.
It's not fulfilling.
Did you guys see the Grok AI thing? You saw it, Justin, right? I sent to you.
Did
you see that?
Terrible.
What the?
I can't believe that's available.
So explain it. I don't watch it, but I saw the picture.
Yeah, so Diary of CEO had like 2, I think, child psychiatrists on his show, and he was talking about, what they think of like AI and kids like this. And he literally live on the air, like pulled it up. And he's like, this is the animated Grok AI. I guess there's like 2 or 3 different animated versions. So you actually like are talking to a character. And it's like this sexy anime girl and her name's Annie. And he just starts talking, and the way it's talking is like
sexual,
naughty and flirty. And he's not even prompting it to do that, and it's already flirting that way. He's like, I want to introduce you to my 2 friends and this and that. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I'll charm them over, my like naughty person. Like, whoa, dude. Yeah. Like not even prompting it that way. And then like he starts to prompt in that direction and he stops it because they obviously get the point. Like, and this is accessible to like,
and this is now, it's going to get so much crazier.
Yeah.
Imagine being like a lonely, everybody's felt this when you were a kid, you know, you're 13, 14, you're kind of lonely, especially today.
I was gonna say that's worse today than it's ever been.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we've never seen the younger generation have higher depression than the older generations. And that's what you see now. And loneliness. And so you're at home, you're lonely, you're a boy, you have access to unlimited pornography. And then you're like, I want to relate, I want to talk with someone. And you start talking to this AI girlfriend on top of it, just completely zaps your drive and desire to go out and talk to people, to hang out with anybody, and just keeps you in this isolated, vulnerable state.
Just contained.
Terrible.
Yeah. What do you think that you're Musk and you roll that out? Like, what is your desired outcome? Is it to hope to hook these young lonely boys in early, and so now they're on your platform and addicted to it and falling in love with this AI? Like, what is the desired outcome of that?
Just get more people to use them.
Playing around trying to make personalities. You know, he's done this for a few different ones, like having one that's real snarky and like you know talk shit to you and. But I just think that he's not really thinking this all the way through in terms of exposure to kids. Like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Weird from a dad who has like 15 kids or something. Like that, right?
From how many different women?
Yeah,
it sounds like it's predictable, actually.
You know? Totally.
I don't know, man.
Well, did you see too? Like I guess he has some software he's working on with AI that basically can do everything Microsoft does, but through AI now. And so he's calling it macro hard. It's like, a response to that.
Is that really going to be the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh,
bro, my God.
I thought that was so funny.
That's actually pretty funny.
Did you guys see the report that Microsoft did? That came out on the jobs that were most likely to be replaced by AI and which ones are not. What made the list?
Dishwasher.
Yes, bro. And it's dishwasher. It's literally what it's put on there. Is like one of the most unlikely jobs for AI to replace is a dishwasher. It was on the second page. I'll make sure that I
still think it'll happen before we have.
Well, if we can ever penetrate through the radiation belt, you might win.
We've never been to the moon, Adam.
We're not going to the moon. It was supposed to be they're going to orbit it. They're going to cruise around it. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be trips around it, not to it, where people are going to be on it.
I don't know, man. I don't think
it doesn't look good, but okay.
I don't think AI is. I think they'll be able to do almost anything. That's what I think. I think it's going to be pretty soon. Was that one clip I showed you where this guy thinks in 2 years there's going to be like huge, just layoff because of all the jobs?
Well, they think I put on here too that they think soon they'll be able to pick up on all the different sounds from like your pet, so your dog, and just all different mannerisms of it, and AI is gonna be able to interpret that and literally be able to communicate with your dog through AI.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like they're and they said they're close.
Hey, what's that?
Really?
That's so weird.
What animated film was it? Was it
Up?
No,
where the dog's like,
he always says squirrel. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Your dog's saying like 3 things:
hungry, happy,
hungry.
You're right. It's gonna be something stupid like that.
Dad, wake up.
We're all excited, like it's gonna have a conversation.
It's gonna be so annoying.
They're gonna have like 3 things they say. That's it.
Why'd you eat that shit?
Yummy.
Sorry, I like it.
This one guy got his AI to analyze the sound of different farts. And with 87% accuracy, it could predict what the person ate. Did you know that?
No way.
Look it up.
Stop it. Really?
I saw.
That's the kind of science I'm interested in.
Bro, that is world-changing science.
That is.
Yeah, look it up, Doug. Put AI analyzes farts with accuracy.
I don't know what the benefit is to that, but that's amazing.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. You can tell what they ate, like this big steak dinner.
I would love it just to have it on when you guys break.
So I saw this.
This guy ate some yogurt.
I saw this interview that Hormozy was doing, and they asked him what he thinks, like what if he was stripped of everything, what would you like try and pursue job wise right now? And I think it's a pretty good call on somebody who understands AI really well that actually comes in and integrates it into your company.
Yeah.
Because think of that. What's going to happen is that the capabilities are like right around the corner of all the things you can do, but you're still going to have a bunch of boomers that are running the companies and own them and stuff like that are going to not know how to adopt it. So just being somebody who can come in and like look at your company and go like, here's all the places that you can be using AI to reduce this or to increase speed here and do that. And that person's going to be able to charge a really high premium. You can either do this, you could go, I'm a flat rate,
consultant,
$50,000, I come in and do this, or I'll increase sales by this percentage and
Give me a percentage.
I want a percentage of this.
That's great.
And so pretty
makes a lot of sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
I use AI like Google. What does that say up there,
so they say all of us boomers do.
I mean, this is on Reddit, so who knows if this has any validity. But I trained an AI for 3 months on continuous fart sounds, and here's what's happened. So you can identify your diet with 87% accuracy from a single fart. I have a hard time believing this.
I don't know. I feel like
I mean, that's kind of a general statement. I can identify your diet by 87%. What does that mean? Like that you can guess?
Well, I don't know. I mean, do yours sound different when you eat different things, Justin, or is it just?
I would think so. Especially if it's upset.
Yeah.
It's one of those like inflammatory foods.
But different people are upset by different foods, right? So,
yeah, exactly. But it would all be individualized.
There are general sounds though, Doug. There are general. It's like chicken nuggets. You have like 6 shapes. You know what I mean? There's like 6 general. Anyway, speaking of upset, and I talked about my daughter earlier, but I had the best but also most frustrating argument with her over the weekend. Over last week. So she's on her own, again, just like more beautiful stuff. She's just lifting weights, right? She's in the garage working out on her own, just training. I'm like waiting for her to ask for advice because I'm not trying to impose. So finally she's like, hey, can you make a workout for me? I'm like, yeah, let me make one for you. Now remember, she's 15, new. So I'm creating like a very basic.
Like, use this 50% off coupon right here.
Yeah. Give her a discount code. She bought a program from us. Boom. No. Right. Your dad's a closer.
Sales.
No. I wrote up a workout for her, very basic, because again, you guys, I don't have to tell you guys, that's what you do for, that's the most effective routine you're going to do.
Yep.
So I write it up for her. And she looks at it.
Like, this is lame.
Listen, bro.
Yeah. This is not enough.
She has no idea. Yeah. So she's in the garage working out. She calls me on the phone because I'm upstairs. So I answer the phone. She's like, how am I supposed to progressively overload with this? I'm like, first of all, what did you just say?
There's not enough YouTuber.
There's not enough frequency. No. And then I told her, I said, honey, do you realize the language you're using?
I know.
Your dad's podcast is what made that popular? Oh, no, yeah, right. Like, people didn't talk about that. Well, no, girls didn't talk about that. So I'm going back and forth or trying to establish, like, my authority.
That's hilarious.
To my own daughter.
So I'll get around to
There's not enough frequency and volume of this, and there's not enough of that. How am I supposed to progressively overload?
She's critiquing your fucking programming.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
I'm arguing with my daughter. I'm like, do you know who I am? Do you know who your dad is?
That's so funny.
You know what you do is you need to put her, you don't go to askmindpump.com. See what they say.
Oh, God. It was so funny.
I had kind of a similar but a little bit different situation. So like Everett, we've been kind of battling. He's going through that real like puberty phase where he's just angsty. And so like over the weekend he was like in his room too long. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, man? Like no more hanging out in here, like get outside. And he's just fuming. He gets outside and I'm like, we'll just let him figure this out, This guy, I don't know how to deal with him right now. He goes downstairs, he goes into the garage and just starts like throwing weights around, man. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is totally my son, dude. He uses it for anger.
Oh my God,
and he's like doing these like squats and overhead pressing and like, but he's got pretty good form, and I wasn't even obviously, like writing a program. That's great, but like he was just like thrashing weights.
It's so funny because your kids. I don't care how cool you are. I don't care how much you know. You're dumb to your kids when they're that age. You don't know anything.
Totally.
It just made. I remember. I told her this story. I said, honey, when I was your age, my dad had a friend named Joe that would come over sometimes. He was a chiropractor, but he was a bodybuilder. And one day I came out. I got the nerve to ask him. Like, what do I need to do? I want to gain as much muscle as possible. He said, come over here. And he sat down with me and he said, here's what you're going to do. You're going to eat a lot of food, focus on eggs and milk and tuna fish. And he goes, and you're going to work out 3 days a week. You're going to do like 3 or 4 lifts and just get real strong. And I remember at your age, what I told her, I remember at your age, I looked at him and I thought to myself,
He's not
you
telling you.
liar. You don't want to tell me what to do.
You're withholding the secrets.
And I'm like, and if I had followed his advice, I would have like erased 5 years of frustration. I said, and that's you now. You don't want to listen to your dad. I said, follow this program and watch what happens.
Or you're grounded.
And then I told her this. I said, you want to add more volume? Go for it. I said, if you want less gains, so then I started doing takeaway. That's fine. If you want to slow down your progress, add as much as you want. Go for it. Wow. Watch what happens.
Oh my God.
It was like the best, but also most frustrating.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And she's so driven. She's such a.
You got to be so excited to see her doing that, but then also drive you crazy at the same time.
Oh, it's so great. It's because she's
only
got
a matter.
that drive.
Okay, so it's only a matter of time before she starts tuning into the show.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen?
Well,
we're
yeah.
finally
Her
going
friend.
to we're going to interview somebody who she follows or she's into, and then that's how she'll finally.
Mike Israetel. Oh
yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna
God.
You guys, whatever. You know,
yeah, it's going to be
that's
like
just
that.
how it goes.
Oh my God,
It is going to
dude.
be like that. We're going to have someone on the show, or she's going to find out we had someone on the show that was like.
Well,
she's a
one
big
of the
fan
one of the kids that came to the study listens to my podcast, so that's what I think might happen. That one of her friends is like, "Your dad knows some stuff." I don't know if that'll work though.
Yeah, it depends on how much she respects that guy.
She might roll her eyes. You don't know how stupid he is. You know, it's like, it was a good time.
Oh
though.
shit,
Dude, you remember a long time ago you brought up like ER cases with like an ER doctor? I told you like real specific things. Like I've never heard of this specific case, but there's this guy that I guess came in and you know, it's always an embarrassing thing when somebody's like, oh, I have all this abdominal pain. And they're trying to describe what happened, but they can't really get to the heart of it, right? Until they get to the x-ray. And then the x-ray showed that literally there was an 8-pound dumbbell inside this dude's rectum.
8 pounds?
8 pound. And it's like the top, you know, and then the bottom. So it's like you like getting it out and then getting it in. Like it's just, it's
8-pound dumbbell? That's,
that's heavy. How do you hold that?
Yeah, the
Doesn't that
top
just
is
fall
like
out?
super wide, and so anyway, they were like trying to describe like how hard it was for them to get out, and I was just like, wow, what's the story there? Like I want to know what they didn't get into details.
Guys doing stupid things.
Yeah, how he's gonna come in there and be like, ooh, whoops.
Hey, I got an idea.
I was working out and just
it's really weird.
lost my position.
Yeah.
Whoop.
I don't know, man. I was doing arms.
Yeah,
and
my buddy did the 5-pound. I had to go to 8.
Yeah.
You know?
There was this giant bodybuilder in the gym, and I cut in when I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, right.
This is how he left me.
Yeah. Real bully.
8-pound dump. Maybe he's doing progressive overload on
That was
his colon.
I know, right?
Oh
like
my
getting some
God.
gains.
I can't believe that. Anyway,
Yeah,
over the weekend
fun fact.
I was reading some of the comments from the series that we're putting out. But you know, shout out to Dylan. He has done such a great job of understanding how to edit that whole thing and piece it together.
Yeah.
And the comments are so encouraging. It's funny. There's 2 kinds of comments that are most challenging for me to read. One of them's obvious. What do you guys think they are? What are the 2 comments that'll make me they're like, oh.
I don't know, probably the ones that are telling you to keep doing this or keep going that direction, or I don't know. Because they're all positive, so you're not getting anything negative.
But
so it's hard for you to take.
Well, criticisms are always hard. I haven't seen too many of those, which is great.
There's none of that going on.
And people who are like, dude, you're jacked.
It's the
and I'm like
the body.
Yeah, and it's not that I hate them. Obviously, like hearing that kind of stuff, but it makes it
feeds into that.
Yeah, dude, it makes it more difficult to kind of break this. This idol down or whatever. But aside from that, the comments have been just so incredibly.
The last level to this game where you're going right now, right?
What's
is
that?
to let go of the wife beater. You know that?
Oh,
right?
wow. Just go shirtless?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I was thinking.
There's more to the. Hey, by the way, listen. The wife beater is not. It's not connected to the workout. The wife beater was before the workout. I was wearing that since I was.
I know.
A child.
But it feeds into
You
it.
should tattoo line the wife beater on you.
That would be the best
forever. Yeah, it's a part of you now.
Just the Hanes.
Yeah.
What was that? You remember when they used to do people used to do the necklaces that actually tattoo the
rosary?
bead? Yes. Where did that come from? Do you know where that came from?
I don't know.
That was popular for a while there.
Every once in a while, though, there's like a tattoo trend, and then it becomes a trend, and then I feel bad for the first people to get them, like the barbed wire.
Yeah, like
tattoo
mine.
around the arm.
Yeah, like mine.
Do you have that?
No, it's covered up.
Okay.
Well, no, it's built in there still.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that was.
Yeah, it was like pull it off the wall, and then literally.
You pulled it off the wall at the tattoo.
Yeah, yeah. My buddy and I, he did like 3 of us. I did that. My other buddy did tribal. My other guy did characters. You know.
Oh wow!
Chinese characters.
Yeah.
Does he at least know what the characters mean?
Well,
that's like a big problem.
Yeah. I don't even remember what it meant, but supposedly
beef with broccoli.
Yeah.
I'll have that.
It's a menu.
Yeah, wow. and then mine just. I mean, this was in the what year it was. It was in the 90s or whatever.
Were you 18 when you got it?
No, I was underage.
How'd you get it?
I don't remember how I got it. Probably we went to I lived in a small town, so finding somebody to tattoo you underage.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I wasn't way underage. I think it was 17.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 17. But Pam Anderson comes out with hers just afterwards, and so and then you let
so
7 years go by, and the story changes to like I got it after Pam Anderson. You know what I'm saying? So now it looks like that's what I did. And so yeah,
your girl tattoo.
Oh man, dude.
I knew a dude that got when belly button piercings were not popular. He got one because there were dudes that got them sometimes. Like that.
Oh,
and I had a roommate that had one.
Yeah, and
that's embarrassing.
Yeah, you got to take that one out.
Yeah, yeah, but you can just take that out. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
barbed wire tattoo is stuck with me.
Tramp stamp is always going to be there.
Doug, did you ever consider getting a tattoo?
Never.
Not at all.
No,
Oh, really?
No interest at all.
Yeah. No. Your generation was very different about
yes, tattoos back then, you were either a sailor or like a gangbanger or something like that. Yeah.
It was a big deal if someone got one.
Yeah,
like
it was.
It became. It was popular.
It
was popular our generation.
I told you, and I just met too. It was last weekend where my preacher friend who actually married my wife and I was preaching in town. He saved me from being kicked out of my house.
When you got your first.
Yeah, because my dad literally was kicked me out of the house because I got one. But it's just it was that generation doesn't play. They're just like there's association built in where you're some kind of degenerate fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really changed now when I see
it's swung back again. So it went from our parents' generation, anti it, our generation being so pro it, and now it's cool to not have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know now when I see sleeve tattoos, I think they're a chef. That's typically what I think.
We work with two chefs here.
They're always, chefs are always
or neck
out.
tattoos. Yeah, a lot of chefs are rocking.
So right away, I'm like, you're a
chef.
Yeah,
that's so funny. That's a funny association.
Isn't that kind of true?
I would like to ask too, because how can you be like a busy chef and not be on cocaine?
Wow. That's a really
every single one I've known was like
you
bumps.
It's a tough job, man.
It's
for sure we're getting messages
a thing,
for that
dude.
You got to be fast. That's why. Dude.
Yeah, you got to be real fast and real alert.
There's another. I'm not going to say what the other profession is because there's another one that's like that. But
it's crazy.
I want to hear about that stat.
Crazy environment.
Speaking of crazy, what's that crazy stat that you said about benching?
Oh yeah. So 225, which is like not that much weight, but I guess. It's more rare. Was it like
more rare than someone having 10 million? Yeah, being worth 10 million.
So hold on. It's more rare for a guy to be able to bench 225
than to have $10 million.
$10 million.
$10 million net worth.
You know what's weird about that? What's weird about that? Coming from trainers.
I mean, it was a stat that Chris Williamson shared.
So is that that's counting your assets?
Google it.
Like you're a. Yeah. It must be adding.
He actually had the percentages on
I know it's more rare to have a six pack than it is to be a millionaire. I know that one.
We've talked about that.
225 is a decent press. I mean, it's not like crazy.
I know
but
Justin's talking over here.
I know. It took me a long time to get over 225.
I don't know. 2 wheels, like it's,
no. It took me years of benching before I hit 225. I remember what a big milestone.
Here's what I'll say this.
I mean, I started less than a wheel. I started less than 135.
I will say this. I think it's harder to get $10 million than bench 225. I could get most guys to 225 with consistency, a few years of training, good diet.
Oh yeah, difficulty. Oh, definitely, it's way more difficult to get 10 million.
I think it speaks less to the. Well, I guess you could throw in that difficulty then because it's just hard to stay consistent enough to do it.
I mean, that's why it's a neat stat because the same consistency that it takes to make $10 million, similar.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to overnight make $10 million or just be lucky and have like the effort to get all the way up to $10 million net worth. Is probably decades of a profession or skill or whatever or a business.
I wish it translated 225 to then 10 million.
I'd say
awesome.
I would say most average guys, it would take 5 to 10 years to get over 225. I mean, it took me over 5 years.
Yeah,
for sure, it was over 5 years.
It took you 5?
Yeah, because I was in my mid-20s when I finally.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Probably 25, 26 when I was starting to bench 225.
I think I was the single rep 220. I want to say 18 maybe, but I had been working for 4 years.
Wow.
Okay, so looking up a couple of different things here. I'm doing my own research.
Okay.
So
We know how good that is.
then don't ask me to do it, Adam.
Wow.
You're always dissing my Google skills. So men, 0.4% of the population could do 225. Okay.
0.4.
0.4%. Women is 0.02%.
Oh yeah. Woman bench at 225. That's rare.
But now let's take a look at how many people are worth $10 million or more.
Yeah.
That's 0.066%. So I don't think it adds up, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless,
Maybe
I don't know that few
maybe
people.
it's if made $10 million total in your lifetime or something. Maybe that's what we're misinterpreting.
If you guys ever really want to make your wife angry, you guys want some advice? Here's what you do. You go on AI, you list all your characteristics, and then ask it how rare it is that a man has all those wonderful characteristics. I did that.
Make yourself.
I'm not going to say what they are because
a nice
I'll
unicorn.
But I'm like, how rare is it that a guy is did. I listed all these things, and then it gave me and I sent it to my wife. I'm like, babe, you're so blessed.
Oh my god!
And
look how good you're doing.
It didn't work.
Yeah, didn't land like I thought it was.
No, she didn't come to me with gratitude. It turned into like annoyance.
Where were you this weekend?
Just around. I mean, just errands and nothing like. Cool
You guys didn't. You guys weren't out of town. You and Court weren't out of town or anything like that. Oh,
no, lots of errands and shuttling the kids around. That's like my life now, dude. Really, is like because just to get them to hang with their kids, like. Other kids are like Morgan Hill area. Like
driving.
So I got a lot of
Well, your
driving.
boy's going to get his license soon.
He is. Yeah, actually, that's like a month, dude. That's
here.
Yeah.
So, and that was the thing. We're doing a lot more research with that. And so I'm like, which car and like, what are we doing
Are
with that?
you scared at all? Because my daughter too.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, huh?
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, and your new driveway is kind of terrifying to be in and out. And I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, that one? Yeah. I don't even know how we're going to handle it.
Yeah. I was like, that part would scare me too. That new driveway is like.
I think he's going to park down on the street below.
Can you?
You can. There's dirt kind of off to the side that is a parking spot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he'll park there.
Probably a good idea. Because
Yeah,
backing out of that or.
I mean, my driveway's like this.
Yeah. And it's like a hairpin turn when you get out of it. So someone coming around that corner or whatever.
That is gnarly.
Yeah.
I tried to scare my daughter. I was just like, the number one cause of death is for teenagers. I'm showing her the stats, trying to scare the hell out.
Oh, okay.
Because car, it's dangerous, bro.
Is it still?
Oh yeah.
I know it was. I didn't know if it still was.
A teenager behind the wheel, the stats on the rate of.
That's why their insurance is so high until they're 25.
Think about it. You're operating a 7,000 pound machine, and you just when they get their license, it's not like they're experienced. Yeah. They did some driving. They pass a test. They gain their experience in the real world. That's how you become a driver. Is you go drive. With a bunch
Your brain's not even fully developed.
Yeah. No.
Like the most important part when it comes to that too, the logical side.
Well, now I'm nervous because like I started getting him into like motorsports and everything. And so he's like really into like
motorcycle
stock car racing, like NASCAR, into like IndyCar racing. And then it's so I'm like, wait a minute. So we're definitely gonna get him like it's probably like that old Yukon that we have, like something big, bulky, and like it's hard to park.
Yeah.
Doesn't go fast. All those things, right?
Yeah.
But he's starting to send me and Courtney like he found this old like stock car racing car for like 20 grand, and then he found this other like BMW but it was it's not even street legal, and he's like, look at what a deal. It's like, what are you, crazy?
It's a deal because you can't drive it on the street.
You can't drive on the street, so what are we gonna do? It's only for a track.
My daughter's trying to close me to get her is a Jeep, but not like any Jeep, the one where you could take the doors off.
The Jeep Wranglers would be a good call, bro.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
We looked at that
with the doors off.
So what? They go slow. They're not fast.
You get a big old roll cage.
Get her a little. Yeah, you get a roll. It's got a roll cage on it. That's a smart. Yes, dude.
I would have where she can take the doors off.
I would totally put my kid
doors off.
Yes, she is.
She is.
That's why she wanted it. She wants to take the doors off like she's the mailman.
She just wants to make the nervous girl.
In the summer, maybe in the summer when it's a little hot. So she won't do that for very long.
It's a great summer car.
No, we were looking and there was one like the inside was stripped. I'm like, no way she'll like this because you can see the wires and everything. She's like, oh, I love this. This is cool. I'm like, get out of here, dude.
Those are cool.
I do. My best friend had a Jeep in high school, and I tell you, I mean, he drove the safest and the slowest. Those things don't go fast at all.
It's sketchy because it's so boxy and bouncy. It's like,
that's it.
You ever been on that ride at like Indiana Jones at Disneyland?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just that's the those Jeeps.
Yeah. I think that's a good call, bro. Yeah. I mean, I like Justin's idea too. Something like just big and bulky. You know what I'm saying? Like
big is hard. The only problem with big is
parking and stuff.
And so they'll ding it up and stuff.
That's why the Jeep is great. They're so compact and small. They're easy to whip in parking spots. They don't move fast. They've got the roll bar. I mean, I just think that's a smart call. There's not you don't get in a Jeep and go race somebody. Like that's I'd be more worried about that type of stuff. Like that's
racing for sure.
About that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that for sure. Anyway, I want to talk on a topic of trainer turnover. I had somebody ask me a question about the high turnover rate among personal trainers, because we always talk about how this is it's a growing field, and it is if you look at the data.
Real high.
It's a growing field. But those stats, Adam, are skewed because, let me ask you this. How high is the turnover rate when trainers have a good manager and mentor versus when they have a bad one?
Well, we used to say that, people don't quit jobs, they quit managers, right? So that's definitely a true stat, but still in general, it's a high turnover.
It is, but when you have a good manager and a good leader, the turnover rate is way less.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there was times where I think our turnover rate, and Justin's been a part of that team, where we kept a high majority of trainers for a long period of time. I mean, at one point I had all master trainers, which means they all had to have multiple over 5,000 hours of service, multiple certs, and we had a core team of about 13.
Well, the reason why I'm communicating this is I want trainers who are trying to become trainers. They often ask, where should I work? And so we'll recommend big box gyms because there's lots of leads, lots of opportunities. They have the structure in place, great place to learn, all these different kind of clients. That's all true. But also pick a good leader or manager.
Well, yeah.
When you go to a gym, you want to have a leader or manager who really cares about your success, not one that's just going to hire you and then leave you off to your own. Well, now if you're in our group and you're with our course and you're in our, we'll coach you, but there's nothing replaces having that mentor right in front of you.
Oh yeah, I mean that your direct boss at a gym is going to impact you from a mentorship level more than because they're going to spend the most time with you. It's like you're in a sense choosing your parent at that case, right? You're gonna be living at that job, and so you probably want to choose wisely with somebody that you're going to really, really learn or like to work for. So
when I had my studio, even because these people didn't even work for me. They were contractors essentially. But when they would come on board for the first 2 months or so, I would help them get their clients. I'd go out with them and help them build their business. Because then the turnover rate was astonishingly high.
It'd be interesting to see. I would think that it ranks in the top 10, if not top 20 turnover rates.
Yeah, I know a lot of people become trainers, not a lot of people stay.
Yeah, realtors I think is number one. I think number one is realtors. But I would say that trainers is probably up there. A lot of it too is just it's hard to make a lot of money. Period. But then it's also you're at the mercy of the clients at first when they can do their schedule. And not a lot of people go into it with that. Like, how many times did you have trainers that are like, yeah, I'm going to work from this block to this block. It's like, well, that's nice. Yeah. Maybe one day you can build your schedule to be that way. But to limit yourself to only so many days a week at only this block of time is crazy. The trainers that I had that had the most success, there's always an anomaly. So there was somebody who did that, but very, very few. Most of them were like, I'll work all 7 days, anytime from 5 a.m. till 10 at night and whatever I'll take. And what happens is you got a 9 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, a 3 o'clock. And so, I
would imagine that it's a high turnover because like if you're looking at options for kids that are in college or in school, like that's an option. Like that's a profession you can kind of do simultaneous to learning another career. It's just that people don't take it as like the career option as much in like hospitality gets into this a bit as well. But I think it kind of falls in that category. But if you go into it thinking like this is my career and like you're really approaching it with that mentality, I think
that's a good point. I started like that. I mean, I did not. It was
but the turnover rate is calculated in the first year. So if you're doing this through college, if you quit in 3 months, you're part of the turnover rate, right? If you're doing it to take yourself, so it's really more about the managers. Look, I know gyms. I've been in many gyms, and you have these fitness managers that don't coach and train their trainers, and the turnover rate's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Then you have ones that are great, and it's like almost every trainer that goes and works for them.
If you get a good.
Well, I mean, I was guilty of my first few years. I remember one of the most pivotal moments in my career as a manager was really starting to structure and organize the first 30 days of onboarding.
Yes.
I can't remember if I read some book or some stat. I remember that's normally how it happens for me is I read something and I go, oh my God, that's crazy. Like just by making sure the first 30 days that you have some sort of process in place, it ensures they're, them staying for so long.
There's stats on it.
There's stats on it. And I remember reading going like, oh my God, I'm missing the mark here. And then I just laid out like a 30-day plan of this, like, every day what they would do with me or shadowing and things like that. Huge improvement.
It's incredible.
Because a lot of that too is like, this is their, I remember too, it was like I started to do like a little first day, a little care package. They had a layout. This is what we're going to do. And it made a big difference on the onboarding process, how good that trainer was, how long they stayed with me. The other one was also, I told you guys this before, was encouraging education. Yeah. I remember I saw that stat was a trainer who just has one national cert in addition to whatever base cert they need to have stays a certain amount of time. One that has 2 certs stays like double that time. One that has 3
increases
certs
each time.
Yeah, it like significantly increases just because they have got an education in that. And so I remember going like, oh my God, I'm going to let them learn on the clock. And so we started doing that in-house, and that made a huge difference.
You're great. It's because you were a good mentor, 100%. So, all right, I want to bring up some studies on red light therapy. Have you guys seen, maybe Doug, you could Google these, the studies on red light therapy and mood?
On mood, no.
Yes. So red light therapy has a significant impact on just improving someone's mood, depression and anxiety in particular. And it's all energy production, right? It's all that mitochondrial energy production that where people will start to feel lifted. It's got positive effects on depression, which is pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
So it's like you get the skin effects, you get all that. Look at that. Positively impact mood by influencing brain chemicals and potentially alleviating symptoms of conditions like seasonal affective disorder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny because I didn't know that, but that is actually Katrina reports that, and
when she does the Joovv.
So on Saturday we stayed up till wee hours, way beyond that we normally would, and so did not get a great night's sleep. And the next day, she got up in the morning after her shower, and she was sitting in it, and she was just like, I always feel when I'm groggy and don't feel like that, like it lifts her mood. And she said that. I was like, oh, that's so wild that there's actually studies that support that.
Yeah,
obviously I knew
it helps mood disorders as well, not just things like depression, anxiety.
What by what mechanism do you think?
Serotonin, dopamine.
Those are kicking up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it would make sense after like a terrible night of sleep and you probably crushed all that, why she would feel so good.
Yeah, it's a staple. I would say it's got to be a staple for somebody who's interested in improving their health. Of course, above that is like exercise, diet, and sleep. But if you were to buy anything that would contribute to your health, like broad spectrum, right, across the board, right? Like what could I add to my repertoire that will give me benefits across the board with my health, not just one area or another, but insubstantial. Red light therapy, and the data on it is extensive. It's not like new data. This data goes back decades, and it gets repeated and repeated and repeated.
I'd say that in sauna.
We're
getting ready to build out. I'm going to build out a really cool one.
Are you?
Yeah, my house. It's the next project for us is to do that.
Are you going to do infrared or just heat?
I think I'm just going to do heat because I already have the red light, and so if I wanted to, I could bring it over to it or like that. So I'm just going to do heat. I want to be able to do steam and heat, like or dry and wet. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking into right now about having. I don't know if I'm going to do one custom or I'm going to buy one of the ones that are already done.
That's one of the best ways to get rid of toxins in your body through sweat, like plastics, xenoestrogens.
Just the stats on it are crazy. Yeah. The stats on just what is it, 3 times a week at 10 minutes or something like that. Like all-cause mortality goes down
significantly,
by like crazy amount. Yeah, cardiovascular health, everything is so.
It's an exercise mimic.
It's such a simple thing to do, and if I had one at my house, there's been many times where I'm just like, oh, I didn't get my lift in, but I would have went over and sat in the sauna. So I'm looking at it like an investment.
We're actually thinking about getting one too.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
If you're interested in methylene blue because you're hearing about all the mitochondrial benefits, the energy, the cognitive benefits, by the way, it works. The studies are pretty remarkable. Go with Just Blue. This is a company we decided to work with. Each troche, 16 milligrams of methylene blue It's an efficacious dose. It's real and it works. Go check them out. Go to troscriptions.com. That's TROSCRIPTIONS.com/MindPump. Use the code MindPump. Get 10% off. Back to the show.
Our first caller is Charles from North Carolina.
How you doing, Charles?
Hey, Charles, how can we help you?
Hey, guys. I'll just read my question and then we'll get going, but excited to be here. I'm 42 years old, turning 43 in a week. I have 2 kids, 12 and 13. For my wife and I's 15th anniversary, we went to the Dominican Republic because she had always wanted to see the humpback whales have their babies. So we went and saw that in March of 23. I really struggled on the trip because of my weight and had just turned 40 and had to do something. In January of 2023, a chef that I was working with got me 3-month membership to the YMCA because he was concerned about my health. Upon return from the DR, I began lifting with no plan and doing cardio with calorie restriction. I lost 30 pounds pretty quickly, but plateaued hard. My wife found a trainer whose kids did jujitsu with our kids and really told me that I needed to reach out to him because he was telling her I was doing all the wrong things. He owned a studio and had a couple of trainers who worked for him. And once my frustration became too much, I finally reached out, he being a longtime listener of the show. He put me up with one of his trainers. We focused on protein goals, which I was under consuming. He set me at about 200 grams and began strength training. I ran MAPS anabolic consistently over the next year with some modifications from the trainer, and in total lost about 100 plus pounds. I was working 50 to 55 hours a week as a chef, was helping homeschool my kids, and was involved heavily in my local church ministries. In April of 24, I fully tore my right bicep at work, which led to me being out of work for 4 months. During that time, the fitness studio I was going to closed because one of the trainers was embezzling, and I was terrified that I was going to lose all my progress. The owner, who my wife had met, reached out to me because we'd become friends, and he introduced me to MindPump. You guys helped me navigate the challenges of the injury and how to be a better husband and dad, and have been a consistent listener ever since. Once healed from the injury, he ran me through MAP symmetry. My right bicep was 1.5 inches smaller, and my right forearm was 3/4 of an inch smaller from my DEXA scan when I started. And I had great results through symmetry. When I was done with the program, I was completely balanced out in both arms. I had gained about 2 inches in my chest, lost 2 inches in my waist,
Wow.
But the scale had not moved. In January of 25, I started anabolic again, hitting several PRs each week and getting way stronger. I took advantage of the Black Friday with the plan to do performance advanced after that, anabolic advanced after that, and then old time trying to plan my workouts for the year.
I like that.
Still no change in the scale as I ran through anabolic again. And then right before I was supposed to start performance, I tore my left bicep and my common extensor. While preparing for another surgery, the doctor had revealed that I had gained about 15 pounds since the previous surgery and had lost more than 5% body fat, allowing the surgery to be done in a much easier fashion than the year before. The recovery from the second surgery went great because I had a better walk with the Lord. I was mentally in a much better place, and I used peptide therapy. I came to the conclusion that I was drastically overtraining, believing more would get better results. Once healed, I ran MAPS 15. I'm currently in phase 3. I'm training with much lighter weight, controlling my tempo, still hitting several PRs each time I lift, just adding a couple of pounds each week. My church bought me Performance 15 as a thank you for service, and I plan to run it next, but still no change in the scale. I currently weigh about 336 pounds, like I said, down well over 100, and have been stuck there since for about a year. I carry a lot of weight in my stomach, a lot of visceral fat. I know that I can't spot reduce. What should I do to help reduce the body fat, the belly fat? I'm really discouraged because I'm still not able to do things like ride a roller coaster with my kids, and really was kind of thinking that this summer would be the one. Currently, my protein is about 285 grams a day, consuming about 3,200 calories. My weights have kind of changed. My flat and my incline is about 300 pounds. I can deadlift about 375 and squat about 350.
Yeah, great.
Can we take a moment first just to talk about what an incredible job you have already done? I mean, where you came from, how you started to where you're at and what you're doing is so good, bro. So good. And through 2 injuries.
Yeah. And you also changed course. You also identified that you were probably doing too much through those injuries and changed course with how you approach fitness. Here's my question for you is, what are you discouraged about?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that I thought I'd be a little further along than I am.
How much further?
Yeah.
You represent 0.01% of people who started where you're at.
You lost 5% body fat.
You almost, I mean, I don't know how much further you could have got. In fact, I think
2 injuries.
In fact, I think you pushed yourself too hard, which is what caused those injuries.
Yeah.
Which will set you way back. I mean, you know that. I don't got to tell you that, but you go too hard or you try to push too fast, and then what'll happen is you'll get an injury that'll obviously stop you in your tracks.
Incredible.
I mean, I mean, look, here's the deal. There's nothing to be discouraged about at all. You're doing great, man. Yeah, honestly, stay the course.
Yeah.
And be patient. Stay the course. You're doing so well. This is one of the best success stories I've heard. And that's just the truth, brother.
Yeah.
That is just the truth. And I know what happens. Like you're seeing things move, you're progressing, you're feeling good, and you want more of it, and you want more of it, and you want it to happen faster, or you set an expectation for yourself. But this is incredible, brother.
Let's talk a little bit about, maybe some things that we can do diet related, because as far as your protein intake, everything like that, have you been pretty consistent with it sounds like you reverse dieted at one point, adding protein and calories. Where would you consider yourself now? Just kind of hovering at maintenance, or do you go in cuts for a little bit and then do you do surpluses? Do you manipulate the calories? Like, what does it look like?
No, I'm kind of in the Goldilocks zone, as you guys kind of refer.
Yeah.
So I think I probably do dip in and out from surplus to being in a cut from time to time.
Got it.
I'm trying to not be like on the scale that often. At this point, what I try to do is just weigh each time I start a new phase of 15. Mm-hmm. And normally it's kind of like, it might be a 1 or 2 pound shift.
Good.
But I can tell some differences in composition just because clearly I built back both arms. And as I did, I've noticed like my arms have really leaned out. I'm getting kind of vascular in my forearms.
Yeah, dude.
It's still kind of like.
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself?
Each one of these things are a win, dude.
Yeah, you lost 100 pounds. You're hitting PRs. You're consistent. You adjusted your workouts because you injured yourself, which is a tough thing to do when you've come from where you came from. The fear often is, if I cut anything out, I'm going to gain all this weight back. You made it through that.
Good calorie intake that you're at.
You're in the Goldilocks zone.
You're strong.
You are though touching on what we talk about. Why the Goldilocks zone is so difficult is psychologically it's difficult.
Right.
Because you don't see huge swings.
It's gradual.
It mentally messes with people. And so even though it is the sweetest place to be, it is really difficult for people to stay there for a long period of time because you want to see more movement faster. But you're actually seeing the best movement you can. Is you're not really moving a lot on the scale. You're slowly building muscle. You're slowly losing body fat. You're staying fed. I mean, you're strong. You feel good. I mean, you're in the sweet spot, brother. It's just, and you know what? Like you'll have these moments where, it feels like nothing really happens. And I'm sure you've already experienced this in your journey where it feels like nothing's happened for a while. Then all of a sudden you have a great, like a week looks like, oh my God, I made this huge change in a week. And it's just
leaps.
It does that. It's like the same way we talk about how kids grow. Your kids all of a sudden you don't see them for 3 days. They grew 4 inches. It's like, how'd that happen? It's like, it works that way sometimes when you're consistent in that Goldilocks zone.
That's usually how it works. Mm-hmm. That's usually how it works. So are you working how many hours as a chef?
50 to 55, but I've reduced that down. I'm changing into a teaching role, so I should have like a more normal schedule here pretty soon to where I've got some
And how
more
much
time in the evening with the kids and things like that.
And how much time are you spending serving at the church?
Quite a bit. I do youth Sunday school, sometimes preach in the afternoon, and then on Wednesday nights I do addiction recovery ministry.
And how many kids you got?
I got 2.
Yeah. How old are they?
12 and 13. So my boy this summer was determined he was going to put on like 30 pounds of muscle, which I was like, I don't think you're going to do that this summer.
Yeah, buddy.
So 2 teenage boys, you got a full-time job, family, you're doing all this. There is literally nothing to be discouraged about.
Oh, yeah.
This is like
and you're making progress.
Yeah, just stay the course. Stay patient. Stay the course.
Yeah.
You're doing everything right.
When you switch jobs up too, should be good. It'll lower stress a little bit.
You'll see a little more progress.
Maybe you can take some walks because you have a little bit more time in your life like that. I mean,
and you're strong. You're strong as heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're doing good, Charles.
You're doing really good.
Yeah.
There's really nothing I would change right now. You know what I was going to change, but then you did already, is I would have told you to go to do less volume and stuff because of the injuries, but you already did that on your own.
Yeah. You know what we could do, Charles, I think that we could help with is it put you in the private forum if you're not already in there. That way you got our support going through this process.
And just check in.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Doug, I'll have Doug give you access to that, and then just keep us posted because again, this is the hardest part of the Goldilocks zone is you can get discouraged and it doesn't feel like it's moving fast. And so, just reach out in there, keep us posted on your progress every couple months or as like you do when you check in on your transitions through the phases. Let us know how it's going and if you have any questions and we'll help you through this process. Totally. But you're doing great, bro.
By the way, Charles, I know exactly what you're feeling. Okay, I go through this all the time. I even still go through this with myself. So I'm a much better trainer for other people than myself. There's 2 traps. One of them is you're making good, consistent progress. You don't see huge swings, so you got to push harder. Here's the other side of the trap. You see crazy progress, and you're like, can I make it go faster? There's no end to this because, it's really about understanding the mindset around it because whether you make fast progress or consistent, slow progress, you're going to want to go faster. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. But you're perfect.
And just I know I don't even have to ask you, but I'm pretty sure you feel like a total different man today than you just did 2 years ago. And so you just got to remind yourself of that, bro. Yeah. You're a whole different human being right now than you were 2 years ago and doing a great job.
Great role model to your boys too with that. Great job.
Yeah. Continue the path, bro.
That's it.
Yeah, you're doing really good.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the stuff that you guys put out. Loving the 15 program. I told her I would throw out the seed. You guys should do an old time 15.
We got some stuff down the pipe. Stay tuned. Hey, why don't you shout out your trainer who was a big Mind Pump listener and turned you on to us in the first place? Give him some love. Who is that?
Oh, Kellen Lake at Just For You in Winston-Salem. So yeah, he was huge and big help to me.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, man.
Right on.
Thanks for calling in.
God bless, man.
All right, thank you.
Take it easy. Great job.
Yeah.
Great job. It's what's funny about this is you can tell as they're talking, as he's talking,
he's hearing himself.
And it's almost he's hearing himself like
this is a good thing. This is a good thing.
I'm hitting
lost 100 pounds.
I'm hitting PRs.
But my weight.
I gained 2 inches on my arms. I'm more vascular.
Balanced out the imbalance I had from my injury.
Yeah. And so you can hear in his own voice, he's like, I'm about to say something silly.
That's why when I was like, can we just take a moment, bro, to celebrate what you've done already? Yeah. And what's so great, and you love to hear, is that because I get it that when you get hit in that spot where you don't see big swings, you get discouraged, and he's kept going.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's
worked his way out,
and you got to remind like this is a lifestyle change and something. And who said that? Who we interviewed? I love that. Like I'm just was when we interviewed who was the guy that was a listener, our only listener we've ever interviewed.
Oh yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah. No. Seltzer.
Jamie. Sorry, Jamie. I can't believe it got slipped me. But with Jamie, like I'm a man who works out 5 days a week. That's who I am. Like this, like you are becoming that person who just does his workout, and that is going to serve you. That mindset, regardless of what's going on. Yeah, dude, doing great, man.
Our next caller is Jimmy from California.
What's up, Jimmy?
How you doing, Jimmy?
Hello, guys. It's so unreal to talk to you guys. I've been a long-time listener. Really quick, I'm gonna read off myself before I get sidetracked.
All right.
All right. So first off, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. It really means a lot to me. I've been listening to Mind Pump for 4 years now, and it's been a huge influence on my life, and not just in fitness, and how I think about growth in life. For me, fitness started off as a way to change my body, but along the way, it became so much deeper. That's why I love this podcast, because that's why this podcast is so special to me, because I know you guys focus on the bigger picture, not just the sets and reps. And also, really quick, I would like to shout out your team, Doug behind the scenes, Kyle, Rob, and Ann. And also, can I give a shout out to the people that I work with?
Yeah,
go ahead. Do it.
So it's going to be Paulette and George P. and just Body Exchange. It's a locally owned gym here in town, and I work at Body Exchange. So shout out to Body Exchange, anybody that goes to Body Exchange. And really quick, I'm going to read off my email. I'll put, hello guys, I'm reaching out today because I've been dealing with some shoulder pain, both on my left side, and some shoulder and hip, both on my left side, and I don't know why. So for some context, I've been strength training for about a year and a half correctly. With the help of you guys, I completed MAPS Anabolic twice. Performance, it's my second time running Performance as of yesterday. I just started. I just completed Symmetry and MAPS 15. I do MAPS primes before every one of my workouts, and I pyramid up to my top set. I do notice pain when I do a heavy 5x5 bench and squat. I want to say my form is pretty solid, but if you guys have any advice, and also a side note is you guys inspired me to become a personal trainer and to compete in my first powerlifting meet. I love you guys so much, and anything you guys say, I will do.
All right, thanks, man.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, good for you, dude. So it's when you bench heavy and squat heavy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you want to compete in a powerlifting meet, so those are really important lifts for that. And you must be pushing those pretty hard.
Yes.
What do your lifts look like? What are your top lifts on those? Just out of curiosity.
So my bench, my PR is 245, but 2 plates. But I try to go like just below that, like maybe 80-90% around there.
Okay. And your squat, what does your squat look like?
I want to say about 2 plates and 25. That's probably like my PR.
Yeah.
And just again like 80-90% when I go.
Once you get to a certain point with strength, you have to really take some time, like outside of that kind of training, to start to bolster things. Okay, so you feel fine until you start to go heavy, and you're pretty strong. What's your body weight at?
Like 180, 182.
Yeah.
So look at his shoulders elevated on the left side. Can you zoom in real quick? I'll go back to the other picture and zoom in so I can see.
Posture.
Yeah, it looks like he's elevated on the left side.
I mean, you're doing the right stuff. I would say I would have you stick in a longer cycle of symmetry. Just that, like do it a couple times in a row before going back to those big lifts.
So would you say to rerun Symmetry again?
That's right. That's right. I would do a couple rounds of Symmetry. And then, do you have Prime Pro?
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm going to send you Prime Pro.
Scapular depression.
It goes deeper into the joints. And so you could do scapular and hip movements in Prime Pro that you won't find in MAPS Prime that go a little deeper on working on stability and mobility. And you can practice those throughout the day.
That'll help your bench a lot.
Definitely.
And is it my rotator cuff? Is it my AC joint?
Could be. So where do you feel the pain in your shoulder?
Are you looking at it, Sal?
Yeah, it's a little elevated.
Yeah, it's elevated and rolled forward a little bit. Look at, you can even tell by the top of his pec right there, and then look at the difference between his lat on the right and the left side. He's up and forward a little bit.
Yeah. Are you? Show me where you feel the pain.
Like in the front, more towards my front.
AC joint. Okay, so that would be the AC joint. It looks like you might have a little bit of scapular imbalance based off of the picture that you sent. So I would do some of the scapular and shoulder mobility movements.
Wall circles.
And then where do you feel the pain in your hip?
And my hip, it's, can I show you?
Yeah.
So it's like right, it just feels very tight.
Okay. Now here's what's interesting about that is that, so it could be QL, could be hip flexor. Sometimes it's hip flexor that needs to get stronger, which is weird because as a trainer, typically you're trying to make people's hip flexors looser. But I've seen this with people who strength train a lot, where they're trying to figure out why their hip pain hurts, and they need to do hip flexor strengthening exercises. So you can even try some of that. So like single leg lifts and stuff like that, and see if that makes a difference. But Prime Pro should help, and stay in symmetry for a couple cycles, and then go back and see how you feel.
Yeah, the wall press and then the shoulder, the scapular circles on the wall are the two movements I'm going to focus a lot on with you. And I actually think that if he's like that, the bar could be off just a little bit on when he's doing his back squats. So if the bar is just barely off on the back squats, you're going really heavy like that. That's where you might be feeling that in that hip, that side. But have you done the zone 1, the wall test?
I have, but it's been a while. I did
that should be the thing you do before every lift. Like you start with that.
Use that as a primer.
And then do the scapular circles, which you're going to see in Prime Pro. We'll send that over to you, where you get against a wall and you make these circles, especially on that side. So the side that you're having those issues with, and you should do both, but that's the side you really focus on. And you can't do too much of that. This is something that you practice even throughout the day, but definitely before you work out, you've got to do those 2 priming movements before every time you lift. And then when you got time at home, you should be messing with it too. Just you're trying to repattern that side. And it looks like you're a little rolled up and forward to me, just a little bit.
It's probably not that bad because you feel okay until you start to get closer to your limit.
Yep.
And then when you start to get close to your limit, even if there's a 2% imbalance, it comes out.
Your default patterns kind of kick in and take over.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's why it's going to take a lot of reps, and so the more you can do those like scapular circles and really be disciplined with that, and also prime ahead of time before you get into these big lifts, it's going to make a tremendous difference.
Now, here's the other thing, because you're a trainer, and I think there's value in this, would be to work with, see if you could hire an experienced powerlifting coach, because they will see things that you don't see in those lifts, and they'll see technique, form, and they're masters at maximizing leverage. Which, believe it or not, maximizing leverage actually makes the exercise safer.
Yep.
With the technique, and so you're at the level where a powerlifting coach would probably benefit you if that's something you're looking to do.
And then I'm going to have Doug we're going to send you Prime Pro. I'm also going to have him put you in the private forum if you're not in there already.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to put you in there too. This way, if you don't hire the coach, because I'm with Sal, I think you should totally invest in that. Even if
it'll make you a better trainer.
Even if it's just for like a month. Even if it was just like a month of having the
like
trainer
4 sessions
really help you with technique on those lifts. I think you'll get a lot from that. If you can't or don't, then at least you have us in the forum where you can video some of your movements, and between the other coaches that are in there and us, hopefully we can help you out as much as we can virtually.
Okay, and one last thing I would like to share is I do work at a gym here locally in town, Body Exchange, and I was doing the front desk, but since I want to become a personal trainer, I just got a promotion to do sales, and I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Oh,
nice. First week as a sales.
Oh, that's great.
Good for you, man.
You know, you would when you get if you haven't picked up the course that we did, you would really appreciate that, even because a lot of it is focused on sales. So Sal has a whole section in there that's on. So in fact, you have your free webinar that's out there too, don't you?
I don't know if it's out. Is it out, Doug?
I don't believe it is.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
No.
I thought it was.
No, but our course is very heavily, it's real heavy in sales and marketing and building your business. It'll be something valuable for you.
Are you already following the trainer Instagram page that we have? It's all.
So I deactivated all my socials.
Okay.
Smart.
Smart for your health, terrible for your business. But. So
maybe get a burner phone.
Yeah. Well, you're going to need to be on there to get on that Facebook forum, and then we've got a lot of content that's focused for the trainer, so it'd be beneficial for that.
Just follow that.
We have a lot of people that just create a ghost one, no picture, no nothing, just so they could be connected to us on that stuff. So it's worth doing that.
And also I've been keeping up with Kyle's new podcast. I've been listening to every single one of his podcasts. I really love his podcast.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's really good. He's gonna replace Justin. So that's
he already did one time. It's it's gonna happen soon.
We've been interviewing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Adam, you talked about in that podcast, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was that one or maybe a previous one, where you said in 2 years from now that you would have a whole bunch of trainers. And I just want to say, one day I would love to work over there.
That's a great goal,
good
brother.
Goal, man. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, get in there with the community. Then that's going to be one of the ways to hijack you there. So
you can apply at mindpumpjobs.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right, Jimmy. All right.
Thank you guys so much. It means so much. I'm totally freaking out right now.
Yeah, take it easy, brother.
Thanks, man.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah. It makes there's so much value in a personal trainer hiring a specialized strength coach.
Oh yeah.
Because they know things. I mean, when you're at that level, you're a powerlifting coach or a running coach or whatever.
It's the small details, man.
Oh, it's these little details, and then you can translate to your clients.
Big time.
Oh man,
you learn so much.
I worked with for a short period of time an actual power lifter, and I knew what I was doing. I thought. The stuff I learned from them when it came to squatting, deadlifting,
even Olympic lifts for me was crazy.
Oh, you better get a coach for Olympic lifts.
That's another level. Even just a short period of time. even just a month where you got 4 to 5 sessions with a coach like that, especially like powerlifting, because you're only focusing on a handful of lifts that they're going to be.
I got help twice. I got help twice, and it was like game changer for me.
Yeah. Invest in that, bro.
Our next caller is Nicolo from New York.
Nicolo, what's happening?
How you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
How can we help you?
First, I want to say I'm really thankful for all that you guys do. I'm in my 20s, and I send episodes to my parents in their 60s. So, I think that speaks to the comprehensiveness of your coverage.
Thank you,
man. So I'm 6'1", about 165 to 170 pounds with 6 to 9% body fat. I'm in pretty good shape, and I've been lifting for 4 years, but I've always been skinny and want to get serious about bulking up. I'm at a good point in my life to do so schedule-wise, and I've listened to a bunch of your bulking episodes for advice. Here's the thing. As I've started my bulk, I've also joined a gym that offers climbing and yoga classes for social reasons and just general enjoyment. I want to have the flexibility in my routine to do those kinds of things a few times a week, whether it's climbing, yoga, play basketball, that kind of thing. And I want to be sure that I'm lifting enough to support my bulk without overtraining. So could you guys recommend a split that facilitates muscle gain and a successful bulk without risking overtraining?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Easy.
Great,
Mass 15.
Great question.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mass 15. And eating a surplus.
Yeah, you can't really overdo it with that.
That's it. Yep. 100%.
Those are great climbing and yoga classes to complement your strength training.
Now keep in mind, bulking
complimentary.
Bulking isn't going to help your climbing. I hope you know that. Right? That doesn't help climbing, but if you're doing that a few days a week, MAPS 15, being a calorie surplus, be a nice balance. So you should see some nice, steady, lean mass gains with that.
MAPS 15 and calorie surplus.
That's
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Great. And I'm not super serious about any of the other sports. It's kind of just mostly for fun.
Yep.
So I'm really serious about bulking up.
If you're just serious about bulking, then what you would do is you wouldn't do, especially the climbing, and you would do like a MAPS anabolic in a surplus. Mm-hmm. But you really got to weigh it out.
I still think 15 would be a good place to start.
I mean, it's not a bad choice at all.
Yeah. Because here, when you struggle with eating, I mean, this was you and I when we were young. Yeah. When you struggle with getting enough calories, all kinds of extra activity doesn't always serve you, and extra training doesn't always serve you. I remember some of the best gains I made was when I reduced my training volume way down because I just had so much activity in my 20s. I was doing a lot of stuff. And so I would actually still run you on 15 first and then go to anabolic. But I think you'll see really good gains just from 15.
Still press the intensity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's definitely up for grabs.
Do you know what your calories are at?
So my maintenance is probably around 2,800. I got pretty low. I almost cut out carbs entirely. I was on sort of like a keto diet. And then now I've been incorporating those back in, some white rice and oats and whatnot. Getting up to like 3,400 is kind of my target for the bulk.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. You should do that.
Yeah. No, stay consistent with that. Mass 15, you should see yourself gain some nice lean body mass.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. That sounds great. So just 15 to make sure I'm not overtraining. And then would you say if I'm climbing, doing yoga, playing other sports, that kind of thing?
You're perfect.
2-3 times a week, is that
totally fine?
Yeah,
that's
fine with that.
Totally fine. Yeah,
just added activity.
Just keep in mind when you do the extra activity, try and make sure you push the calories a couple hundred more calories. You know, so just be mindful of that. Be like, okay, this was a week where I did a lot of climbing and other things, and so goals was always for me when I did activity outside of my lifting was to feed. An hour before, get a good sized meal, and then as soon as I was done with that activity, try and feed again.
You can also have intra workout carbs. Yeah. So like while you're doing the climbing, you could have like a jug full of like coconut water or something like that with some carbohydrates in there.
Yeah.
That'll help.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have MAPS 15? Should we send that to you? Or do you got it? MAPS 15?
I don't have it, so I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll send it to you, bro.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate everything you do.
Keep us posted. I'd love to hear how your results come from 15.
Yep. Okay, we'll do. Yeah, I'll run through it and then check back in. Thanks a lot,
I'd love to.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Cool.
Yeah, the intra workout carbs is actually you could easily have 200 calories worth of just carbohydrates, drinking them while you're doing the activity. That always made a big difference for me when it came to size.
I know we've hammered already nutrition timing a bunch of times in this podcast, but one of the things that helped me was doing the timing, not because of there's anything magical with the anabolic, was just to get the calories.
That's right.
It was just like if I made a conscious effort to, okay, I'm gonna go play ball right now, go have myself
a couple hours before.
400 or 500 calories
for it ahead of time, which is
yes. And I think that was the most important part of it. Otherwise, I could easily go play ball, and then especially after I play ball, it's really hard for me to want to eat a normal meal. So I'd have to do like something liquid that I could just pound really quick. That really helped. That made a big difference.
Yeah, but even the intro workout stuff, because if you're playing or climbing, that's like 2 hours, and it's not going to hurt you to drink carbohydrates if you're doing something that requires endurance. Might actually help.
Yeah,
so it's an easy way to get those extra calories.
Right away.
And I think someone like that who is a hard gainer does better with the lower volume.
Right.
So I like the MAPS 15 first, and then if he starts to get some momentum, then roll into anabolic. It's a good place for him to start.
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. Shredded, ripped, defined, single-digit body fat.
Yes.
You want to get there? Let's talk about it.
Difficult. And is it worth it? That's a follow-up question.
Yeah. First off, we got to say that, okay, so single-digit body fat, obviously, body fat percentages that can be represented by one digit, like 3%, 5%, 6%, 9%. That's ripped for men. For women,
add 10%.
Yeah, exactly. You go up about